Oh, hi there. It's Saturday afternoon here in Northern California. I'm back in town after a short little family event. And, something happened in the shogi world. ISF, big tournament, big amateur tournament. And, I was following along on Discord. Unfortunately, with that tournament, they don't make it easy to follow along very well. So just kind of getting what people say on Twitch and on the Discord and with some sort of brackets updated. But following along, Koshiro finished uploaded the first day of videos. He filmed his games, and he made it far into the semifinals of the event, and lost in the semifinals to the eventual winner, who also defeated the U.S. champ, also defeated the previous U.S. champ, and in the finals, Muse and friend of the channel, Ghost One made it into Group A. Lots of good stuff happened. Unfortunately, outside of Koshiro's videos and a little bit else, there wasn't much to actually watch. But you just kind of have excitement about the games from abroad in the chat rooms, and maybe in the end, maybe that was enough. So there's that. The tournament. I feel like we could talk for potentially hours about this tournament and about the format, because I was getting a little. I'm just like away, in Florida, and away from my streaming setup, and I was away from my computer and all this. I just had my phone, and I was kind of like frustrated at what was going on in ISF a bit. Not being able to watch anything, and some other things. Just the organization of it was a little. I don't know. It's just different. I keep to a fault. I think I keep comparing Shogi, the JSA type stuff, the Shogi stuff. I end up keep comparing it with sort of local tournaments, chess tournaments here, or other events that just seem so nicely run. And to see these just sort of so oddly done is weird. It's quirky. It's quirky, and I don't think it's in a good way, but it's maybe I'll warm to it. Maybe I'll just get sort of nice and happy and warm with it, and in the future it won't bother me, that there's some chaos going on. But these games, I hope everyone has already seen the Koshiro YouTube videos that he uploaded. There's no commentary, there's no anything. It's the raw, beautiful footage of the games he played on that first day. And if we look at that, so we've got. Let me see if this layout will support bringing these things up here. Let's see. How does this look? Okay, so this looks okay. Let me see if I can. Let me see if another layout will look a little better. I've got to figure out a way to get a nice layout that'll work for like everything. Just like here's my screen, and get a little bit of a camera on there. Maybe even in this little what I call what I'm just switching to now. This is sort of what I've been calling my browser layout, but I'll stick with this now. I'll stick with this here and go through this. So this is the first day of stuff. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom this page just to get bigger text. And here we go. Okay, weird. I'm zooming in, and it's getting smaller. Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it. That's bigger, but we won't be able to see much until I scroll. So the way the tournament worked, for any apologies for anyone that might have seen, like, might already know this. This is old hat, but the players were, I believe, I'm actually, I don't want to say I believe, I'm almost certain they were randomly grouped into sections of 4 players. This is exactly the same as you might be familiar with this format. The U.S. Shogi Championship did this for this grouping stage. So there's this grouping stage. The way it works is that the players are grouped into four, as I said. One, and then they play two games out of that group. Random pairings. One game is played, and then another game is played between people in that group. So one pair of those players of four will not play each other, but they'll have two games. And at the end of those two games, so let's look at this first one here, or let's look at the second one here. So in this example, what we have is there is the USA representative won his two games. So he won his two games, which means he goes to Group A. The player here from Belgium lost two games, so they go to Group B. The other two players split games. So the way it worked out for them, so they have a loss, like looking at this, the Hong Kong player, a loss to USA and a win against Belgium. So that will be in that state. One player will have moved on to Group A, one player will have moved on to Group B, and two players in each group will sort of be undecided. They'll have each won one and lost one. So what happens is after all these rounds are done, these two rounds are done across all the groups, they then randomly the people who have one win and one loss will randomly play one other person across the entire event. So, well, I guess it's not random. Maybe it's based on these boxes, but like you see this red line. I'm kind of, and I've got an image that was shared with me of how it looked on the big screen at the event. I saw this and I was cracking up. I was kind of cracking up. It's like, oh, it's that easy. It's that easy. You see these red lines all over. But anyway, it is what it is. And you get the pairing, and then so you'll see that I'm seeing this event, I'm seeing this result here, and I'm just kind of stunned. I don't know some of these players. So I apologize that my as I'm talking, I sort of stopped talking because I saw that this player from Georgia, who I know to be very strong from 81 Dojo, went to Group B, but. So they will play, and the people with the players that are two wins and one loss will go to Group A. Two losses and one win will go to Group B. Okay, so we get that grouping. So if we go through here, these were interesting. So we have three. So I don't know a lot of these players, so I can't really talk to any of. I don't think I know any of these players. In the first two groups, I know of Jean Fortin, or I don't know how that's pronounced, Telmarch, from the ESC champion and husband of I know everyone's your favorite ladies pro, Carolina. But then the next one we have is and here so. I saw this. I saw this loss. I'm like, oh boy, this player must be strong. This player must be strong. The one from China who won two. And spoiler alert, he is. So we in Group 3. Again, I don't know anyone but the U.S. the United States rep here who won both of his games. And then we get to friend of the channel. Ghost 1 is in here. Oh, it's not scrolled up. Ghost 1 from Guatemala is in here. I saw this sort of after the fact, and so I wasn't sure what order he had won his game, won and lost his game in. So when I first saw this grid, it was at the point where there were two matches played, and so I knew that he was going to have to play another player, to get into Group A or Group B, and so, I'm just sort of cheering along from the side, just reloading these brackets, there was nothing reloading. I think this was at the site, and it was like delayed, on the website. But So it was tough to follow, but eventually that came out. Um, as it turned out, he had lost his first game and then won because I asked him on the side, "Hey, Killer Ducky, hey, Carmike, good to see you." And so I had talked to him or messaged. I didn't. I was trying to not message anyone that didn't message me directly. Because because we've had conversations and things like that. Some of the players I know. But like, I didn't want to bug anyone. I didn't want anyone to hear like a spurious vibration on their phone, taking them out of their concentration. So I was in child mode. I don't know if any of the kids. This might just be a USA thing, but they're back in the day they would say children should only speak when spoken to. So that's what I was. I was only going to speak with one of these players if I was spoken to first. Yeah, that's a problem. The people I don't know, I don't have their contacts. I would have though. I would have, especially after that pairing for the main bracket. But so I asked. I think it was after the tournament was basically over for Gust 1. The next day. Just congratulating and kind of asking how it went, because I know at my tournament what a big, I don't want to say relief, but it was a bit of a relief when I won my first game in the grouping stage. So I was thinking like how great he must have felt to get that first win, even if it in the first or the second, but like at the first especially, it just because it's like I'm talking myself in circles, but like, is it good to get that pressure, that monkey off your back first, or do you want to keep that monkey? No, you don't want to keep that monkey in your back because you need to qualify. But anyway, so he did that. I was so glad just to see that he had gotten a win. Just because I know how important it was to me to get at least one win in the one shogi tournament I played. So I'm not familiar with the Italy players. So I had reviewed the brackets, prior to the actual playing, and I'm thinking like, all right, I'm looking at my friends, and I'm thinking, all right, Gust 1, this is a tough bracket. He's with this guy from Georgia who I was just talking about earlier. I see him on 81 Dojo. He seems very strong. I know that the Thai player is if not very, very strong, at least very strong. And I didn't know the Italy player, so I was thinking, maybe Gust 1, could get a win there. And sure enough, that is what happened. And then he got another against looks like the player from Hungary. My one of my homeland people. So Gust 1 went into Group A. We get some more people that I don't really know them. I know of 3 of these people. The Poland player I know. We've talked about because Kanto Dragon on the circle. It's always so, you just have to be into this stuff to know it, and I always forget it too. The circle is the win. The filled in circle, the black, is a loss. So the way I sort of remember it is that in Hikaru no Go, when Hikaru got a win, a first win, like that meant that he stamped his hand, because they'd have stamps on these scorecards with the circle, and so he stamped his hand and he had a red circle. So that's how I think of it. I don't know if that's right at all, but that's how I think of it. Yeah, I saw Kanto Dragon. I saw that. It was because he has all his first round, at least his first round Kifus on. I could get the link. Muse has his. It was close. I think the Lee Shogi engine put it at, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Lee Shogi engine had it at like -2.1. But like, it's there were a bunch of timeouts. So this is the exact clock I was talking about last week when I was talking on stream about how it is difficult when it's in the speaking mode. And I was saying, it's easier when in the beeping mode, than it is in the speaking mode. But tons, from what I can tell, in my mind, 3 or 4 timeouts is tons in a tournament like this. But I think there were many more timeouts. 10 to 20 moves before it was. So, I was away from my home for the past few days. I was only on mobile. And so I felt like I was running at like 10% strength because, Lee Shogi doesn't scroll very well so I'm trying to do everything I can. So it was tough for me to review these games deeply. But that was one of the games I was looking at. Yeah. It's just, the clock itself is tricky unless you're used to it. And I would imagine that the European players would have not been used to it because, the ESC, WSC, they're playing with clocks that have a very different time countdown. So you really have to get used to this clock. And on this clock, there is, not to be like, talking about technicalities and things like that, but the clock itself, there's movement on the plunger. So there's more movement on this plunger than you might expect. So it's like every fraction of a second counts. And I like I've said, I own 2 of these clocks. These are the Citizen Meijin-sen DIT-40 clocks. And I've got YouTube shorts up there showing how they work in Byoyomi. And I flag on them. A week ago today, I flagged on on the updated model of this clock. It was in the count up where it actually says ich, ni, san, yon instead of the beep. The beep I think is easier to not flag on. But that was one of the first things. So, I was looking at these games on my phone when I was out of their house. There was a family event. Yeah, I know which clocks. They are the Casio. Let me see if I have a photo from the event. Well, let me get a link here. So here's a quick link to one of my clock shorts. What did I just do? That has it. It's the this video I think shows how it does the beep. And I don't know where to find that image. Shogi Brazil will have it. Let me see. So here's one of Koshiro's videos where it shows it in action, during his game. So one of these videos that he uploaded, his opponent flagged. Keep in mind that they were playing with it was 60-second Byoyomi, right? It was 20-minute main time, 60-second Byoyomi, or was it 30? No, it was 30-second Byoyomi. I don't recall. Apologies, but either way, the way what it will do for the last 10 seconds is beep, 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 and then drop the flag. So unless you are sort of in tuned to the sound of it, I'm just this is the kind of beeping that I play with every week. So I'm in tuned with this sound. But if you're not, I can imagine that the flags will be coming. I love this clock. But like I said also, it doesn't sound like much, but I am convinced that the plunger size also adds a fraction of extra time. Ah, yes. Yep. The DGT 2010. Yep. These are totally different from what I understand the volume. In that video that I have where I compare the three clocks, I use the DGT 3000, but I've been told that I've been told that the 2010 also makes that same sort of sound. And the 2500, which I also own, the DGT20, the chess clock, it also does it. It does it differently, and it's way differently. So I have played, so I've done the reverse, where I am accustomed to the sort of the Japanese shogi clocks, and I go to one of the DGT clocks, and I'm like flagging on every move. It's ridiculous. It seems so stupid. It seems like I feel like a complete fool, but it's amazing how when I've talked about this before, so sorry for anyone I'm repeating it to, but like when you're used to a particular like Byoyomi style, when you get a different style, for me it plays with my brain, and I'm just like in like my timing is in chaos. So I'm just flagging all the time when I'm with a clock that I haven't been comfortable with, that I'm not comfortable with, and is almost completely different from sort of the more traditional way. It's tough. I don't have a solution for that. I don't. My solution was that there should be, for the count up, for these citizen clocks do a voice count up. Oh, so I'll finish my thought from before. Is that so? I was out of the house, with mobile, and so I'm just seeing results, and I'm watching some of Koshiro's videos basically without sound, and I see that there's a flag, and I saw that Muse I think uploaded the Kifu and of this game where he won on time, and I'm like. And I'm thinking, oh, I bet they have the voice count up on. I'm betting they have that voice count up on, because it is so deceptive. I was rambling last week about this, about how it's Hachi Q boom, and it's unflinchingly rigid in its sort of application of the flag, and so I thought, I wasn't basically, long story short, I wasn't in a position where I could turn on the volume to hear, but when I did, it sounds like all the clocks were set to beep, which is easier, I think, which is easier than the voice count, but I think would also be very deceptive to people who are not used to it. So it's tough. It's real tough. And as I've said every time I mention this, I am in awe of the chess players out there, because when they play with clocks, as far as I know, and as far as any club I've played in or observed, they play with no volume, and they're playing with Fisher increment, so it's similar to Byoyomi, but not quite. If anything, it's a little less consistent, because you can have 30 seconds on your clock, you'd have 25 seconds on your clock when your move starts. In shogi, at the end, that you always have 30 seconds or 60 seconds or whatever it is. But chess, they're playing with no sound, and they're Like I rarely see people flag with increment in chess. I'm amazed. So anyway, yeah, kept going down there. This group, I know the player from Mexico. I thought this was a 2 or 3 Dan. I think he's a 2 or 3 Dan player, Dan from on 81 Dojo, and he won the B group. So the people who had 2 losses at the end of this grouping stage, all there's some incredible players in here. Just by the luck of the draw, you could easily have one of the top 10 players in the tournament get thrown out to Group B. So you have that, and he won Group B. This is this looks like it was a tough group. And then next to that we've got our friend Koshiro, who was a semifinalist, in the spoiler alert was a semifinalist in the overall tournament. So he came in third. But I saw a black circle in Koshiro's row, and I thought, oh my goodness. And then I saw Singapore, and I thought, oh my goodness. I still, no one answered my question. I am going to assume that this is Umbreon, the 81 Dojo. I think he's a 7 Dan on 81 Dojo. But this game, like all of Koshiro's first round games, is available on the Shogi Brazil channel. And I just like, oh my goodness, like what a I'm looking at this group and I'm thinking that's unlucky. I'm in my mind I'm thinking, Koshiro is going to win his third game, but like that's a heck of a first pairing. I didn't know that Umbreon would be in there, but I thought as soon as I saw that name that he's probably the favorite in the tournament. I don't know if who knows? One tournament, anything can happen. So I'm not going to read too much into the results. Ghost 1, great to see you. Great to see you. Hello, congratulations again. We were already talking about your group. We were talking about your group, and excitement of seeing you get that first win. We've done a bunch of clock talk already. Anytime there's clock, anytime there's anything about these clocks, because it's so funny because I was talking at length about these Citizen Meijin-sen DIT 40 clocks last week. So it sounds like the clock was a factor in these tournaments, in this weekend's tournament, or this week's tournament, or it was weekend. But anyway, so I saw Koshiro lost, and I'm thinking, oh boy, and not knowing what to think. And then the rest, I don't know much about anyone in this in this group, in Group 7. Group 8, I barely recognize any of the names. I know the country Belarus, is incredibly strong, and I saw that sure enough. He won both games. So I thought, oh, this is I'm watching and I'm thinking who are going to be fighting for this tournament. And I had to believe that he's going to be one of them. I saw this 9th result, and I was kind of stunned because I didn't. Maybe he's leveled up. Or maybe I misunderstood the first time. I believe this player was at the U.S. Shogi Championship, and I had believed that I overheard that he was 5Q. So, like, I didn't quite know what to make of it, but winning 2 in the grouping stage, like, I don't know if any of these players, are strong, but impressive nonetheless. Very impressive. This other Group 7 was Thomas, the WSL arbiter. Oh, Thomas Foppel. I mean, Thomas, I believe. I'm not sure if Thomas was the one that flagged against Koshiro. Koshiro's got a video of him playing him. No, actually, I think Thomas is Thomas the one that played Nakabisha. So there was what? Tell me about the Open tournament. Tell me about the Open tournament. What was that? So there's Group A, obviously, which you played that. There's Group B, and there was an Open tournament. So you weren't just done after getting knocked out of the Group A tournament. There was so little information about this thing. Oh, I see. Oh, it was just games in the dojo. No. Killer Ducky. Koshiro lost in the semifinals to the eventual winner. Koshiro got third place. If it is the quarterfinalist, if he did play Thomas in the quarterfinals, I think so. I think Thomas played Nakabisha. So I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not misspeaking here about it. But I was fascinated because it felt so much like my experience as a Nakabisha player. He made Nakabisha. He struggled to make a castle. He made that intermediate castle in between Kimuramino and getting against. He didn't quite make his castle, and it seemed, and obviously he's playing Koshiro, which is hard enough, but it seemed like he struggled to find ideas, just like I struggled to find ideas in Nakabisha a lot of times against like a static rook, and as a result, he took a ton. There was a huge time discrepancy in that game. And it's like I felt like I was living through his game because this has been my over the board experience a lot of times with Nakabisha, where online or at Shogi Wars, where I get out of my opening. Sometimes I struggle to find time to make my castle, but then by that time I'm struggling to find ideas. So it seems like. To me, especially now that I'm basically for the past few months essentially a static rook player, I believe that it is much easier to find ideas and come up with plans when playing Ibisha than it was with Nakabisha. So I would often be way lower on the clock, and like I felt while you're watching this game of Thomas versus Koshiro. I felt like I was watching me versus Koshiro. This is telling me when I play Koshiro, if and when I ever play him, I'm not going to play Nakabisha. Because he'll have seen everything, he'll have ideas, and I won't even be able to come up with plans. That said, Thomas came up with some unique little ideas that I thought were really interesting. And the game finished with, sort of Koshiro is something else. Koshiro is his attacking ideas and the things that he puts together in Yose. They're out of this world. I have no words. I really have no words. They're just out of this world. It's so often it's just like a pleasure to watch his games. Anyway, that said, Thomas played awesome. I was so impressed that he didn't crumble. I was really impressed. I don't know how strong he is. I don't know what user he is on 81 Dojo. So maybe he's already like 4 or 5 Dan and I shouldn't have been as impressed, but I was really impressed with him. I was not expecting to see a Nakabisha in the quarterfinals of WSL of ISF. So the next group we've got Frank Rurovkamp, the finalist in the ESC. He lost to Tel March. I don't know much about him. I've seen that video. He's like the He's the mastermind behind European Shogi. And then I don't know if Chen Yiting is the young kid. And you have a photo with Fuji. Hey Arnold, great to see you. Is Fuji small? I want to see your photo. And then Takashima-san, he's okay, thank you. He went through undefeated through the group. Oh, okay. If I want, okay. I was not going to. Because without you saying, shoot. That said, how do I get this? How do I get this in? How do I get this onto my other computer without bringing up my chat? Oh no, maybe he looks tall. Or taller than I expected. All right, let me bring this up and let me send this to my send to your devices. All right, let's see. Does this show up? Okay. There we go. Incredible. So good. I think this is like one of the first times I've ever seen Fuji smile. Hey, I'm all good to see you. Carmike, in your country, he won 2 games. Group 12. Who is this? Oh wait. Okay. We haven't gotten to Group 12. So let's get back there. 11. Okay, Takashima-san. Okay, so we finished with Takashima-san. And quarterfinalist, I believe, Takashima-san. Okay, number 12. So he got into Group A. The Greece representative got into Group. I feel like I ask this every time. What's his 81 dojo? This is not Demonico, right? Okay, you gave Fuji and Habu. Oh, that's so cool. Do you speak any Japanese, Gust One? So this group 12, that's a tough one. This is the second U.S. representative. Muse from the Discord. He former U.S. Shogi champion. This year he came in 3rd, and incredible player, nice guy, and spoiler alert, finalist. Just a few words, but you have a nice chat in English. Okay, yeah. Habu speaks English. Fuji does not, right? Okay, you don't think he's Demonico. Yeah, I don't think he is either. Because I think I've asked this like 7 times, and my dumb brain just can't remember. And then finally in unlucky 13, they only had 3 players, so they went through the same thing, and then the Korean player won. I don't know this person. I don't know of this person, but seems very strong. Koshiro, there's another video of Koshiro. Koshiro won a good game against this player. The Koshiro videos, I'm going to say again, I've been shilling this channel so often, but like Shogi Brazil, he's got his day 1 games all up because he had his camera, watching the event. These games are all worth watching. In I believe 2 of the games, he played Danaka. He played the system that he taught me, and I've been playing against Furibisha. In one of the games, the first game, he played against and defeated an Urashino Ryu player. I was not expecting to see anyone playing Urashino Ryu at ISF until I qualify. And so this person had, I don't know if it's this person, but basically that player, I think, went to group, the Urshino Ryu player went to Group B and played a bunch of games and did really well. And my understanding, if it's the same player that posted on the Shogi Harbor Discord, this is a player that learned from Carolina's Urashino Ryu videos, or at least claims to. I can't imagine someone can learn just based on like 5 to 10 videos, but maybe he's just so much smarter than I am. It's old Urashino too. It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. I want to see that because I want to know, if I ever have to play Koshiro, what kind of things do I have to expect? So we got through this. Great. Good luck. I mean, good luck or enjoy, or, have fun playing. I imagine you're still going to be playing some games, but enjoy the ceremonies and, or whatever you're doing today. Well, it's Sunday. Thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. So we get to the finals here, the finals bracket, and I don't have an image of it when it was just empty. I just have the final bracket here. But I gotta say I was kind of upset. I was kind of upset. 100 simultaneous games with pros. Yikes. Wow. That is cool. I mean, I'm, as I always say, I want to play my fellow amateurs. I'm not big into the pros, but I know everyone else is. So, so what we got here, keep in mind, this is when I first saw this. What we have is how do I? Let me see if there is a way to let me see if there's a saved image on the bracket. Let me see if there's any saved image of what the bracket looked like to start for the Group A finals. The Discord seems to have lost a lot of the images that were there. I don't know how that is, but all right, here we go. Open in browser, and now I'm going to share this one to send to my device. So here's an image of the bracket, off the wall. So this is, after all we get the two brackets, Group A and Group B. So this is where we diverge from the format of how the US Shogi Championship was. But anyway, what happens was those players that get into Group A, they get into a single elimination, randomly paired tournament. So what we had, and not only that, some of the players randomly get a free pass to round 2, which is, I don't think it necessarily made an impact in this result, at least visibly, but like that is a huge benefit. You basically, you have to win, in a 5-round tournament, you have to win one less round. And when the pairings are random, it's really important because like you could be paired with the second best player in the first, second or first best player in the tournament in the first round, even if you're the first or second best. And spoiler alert, it seems like that happened. We got a really bad pairing. So and just to sort of explain a little bit of how kind of like, not angry, I'm not angry, but like my sense of fair play is so offended when I see this bracket. I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm thinking like this would never happen in a chess tournament, or this would never happen anywhere. Like my fair play sensibilities are going, So what we have here, yes, there are 26 players. It's not an even amount to make a balanced bracket. So you're going to have a bye. Yes. So let's take that as a point that we're not even going to contest. But then they randomly drew to get into here. So not only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not only do 6 players get this nice advantage of getting paired into the second round. I think 2 of them were players that had already lost before. So it wasn't even like the top seeds or the people who were undefeated. It was so random that you got people that already had a loss getting this advantage. And now let's zoom in here. We've got in round 1, mind you. Oh, this is Group B. Shoot. Let me see if I've got Group A. Oh, let me see if I've got Group A. Sorry about that. It was hard to see on my other machine until I zoom in. Okay, here we go. Here's a good one. Open in browser. Let me share this. So here we go. This is a more clear courtesy of I Dream of Shogi. We get this. We get the bracket. So same. My criticisms of the sort of the buy situation stand. But we get this doozy. I'm looking at this and I see 9 and 10. This is, again, I think this is 81 Dojo 6 or 7 Dan or 8. I don't even know what it is. I think this is Empoleon. Now my Pokemon names are going off. I think this is that incredibly strong player from Singapore, the one that beat Koshiro in the grouping stage, versus Muse, the incredible player. I think he's 6 Dan. I think he made it up to 6 Dan now on 81 Dojo. At least 5 Dan. I think he made up to 6 Dan before the tournament. This super strong player. Both of these players undefeated, in the grouping stage, and they're just tossed in. So you have potentially the 2 very best players in the tournament meeting in round 1 in a single elimination tournament, and I'm thinking like, oh my god. This is crazy. I'm thinking like, this is nuts. And then like the thing that was going in my mind, and I didn't put it in the Discord chat because like I've said before, I have these little, like, I don't want to jinx people, and just because I know that Muse had been in there, and I know he's not going to get jinxed, but I'm thinking, all right, there are 2 ways as a player to take this. There's one way of being like, oh man, this is a bad pairing. I'm gonna do my best, but to take it. There's another way, and I was thinking, just the little I know him and the little I've seen him play, I think he is just going to buckle down and be like, just laser focused and just play the game. And I don't have the Kifu. I haven't looked at it. I don't know how the game went. For all I know, it was a timeout. But he won this game. I don't know if he's ever beaten this player online. I don't know. It seems like the times I've seen the 2 of them play online, the other player won pretty convincingly, but I could, my evaluation is bad, but I'm amazed. So I thought, like, if someone is going to do this, if someone is going to win this game, it's going to be Muse. And sure enough, somehow, he did it, and so incredible. And then we get to the other side of the bracket, and we have the U.S. champ got a bye. So this is another thing that kind of bothered me about this bye, is that I'm like, oh, I was thinking he'd probably want to play another game, instead of getting the bye. And so it was, the bye situation, he deserved a bye because he went 2-0. But anyway, enough about the buys. Koshiro had to play. So this side, I was thinking, okay, so Koshiro is going to win this game. I'm thinking, because I'm going to assume this is an 81 dojo player. So I'm thinking, all right, Koshiro is going to win this. And then I thought, okay, I don't know anything about the player from Korea, so this could be tough. And I saw Gust 1 playing the player from China who went 2-0. I'm thinking, oh boy. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking, hopefully he comes up with an incredible game. But otherwise, his tournament is already so good. I'm thinking he's going to be happy. So I'm just reloading, and at some point I was just reloading an image in my browser as if expecting that the image was going to refresh. It was just an image. So I was kind of out of it, but I was trying to enjoy that. Where is it? Where do we go back here? Where is that? Where is it? That's not it. Oh, this. So we get the final, and Muse gets up there to the finals. Koshiro makes it up to the semifinals. So Koshiro lost to the player from China, and then Muse also lost to the player from China. So, and so the player from China beat our U.S. champ, and then beat Koshiro, and then beat the previous year's U.S. champ. So he went. The Chinese player just tore through my. Those were my three. Those were the three that I was, that I was in terms of expecting to win. Obviously, Gust 1 was the player that I was also watching very closely. But I didn't think Gust 1 was going to win this tournament. So the three that I thought were the candidates to win the tournament. That I knew and was cheering for was Noah, Koshiro, and Michael, and in that order, the player from China just went through them all. So again, timing and things like that. Tournaments are tough to run, and timing makes everything difficult. But I was very disappointed to see that this was a single elimination tournament. So not only did we have these bracket problems, I'll say bracket problems. It's not right. It's just in no sense of my own sort of fair play do I think it's right that two of the best players play in round one in a single elimination tournament, while people who had already lost in the grouping stages got a bye in the second round. I'm kind of still fuming about that, but. The other problem with a single elimination tournament is that it was the luck of it was random. So we don't know, if since the winner of the tournament beat all these players, we don't know, who quote deserved second place. Was it Noah? Was it Koshiro? Was it Michael? It's all of them, I'm sure. But it's kind of like luck. It's that unfortunate luck of the draw situation in a single elimination tournament, where the single elimination will be an okay way to get the winner of the tournament, because obviously it's just the person who wins. But it's not a great way to get second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Because it depends on how the initial pairings were done. Especially since the pairings were done randomly, it's sort of a random-ish effect. But anyway, I'm still, I wish I was there at the tournament. I am amazed that the tournament wasn't sort of better handled in that regard. Just because, like, I don't see chess tournaments, but maybe it's just because I have limited experience. Like, I don't see chess tournaments with sort of chaotic kind of stuff like this single elimination. In the U.S. Shogi Championship, the way it was handled was we had that same grouping stage where we were grouped, and then there was Group A and then Group B, but then Group A and Group B were individual Swisses, which was really nice. So it's the Swiss tournament. The cream rises to the top because you get as you play and you win, you rank up, and you're playing stronger players. So the stronger play, you sort of get bubbled up. And then at the end of the Swiss rounds, we took the top 4 players and then did effectively a single elimination tournament for to see who won the tournament, who came in second, and then there was a third place game, which they didn't do for this tournament. There was a third place game where the two the semifinal losers played to see who got third. So that's how the U.S. shogi was handled. That I wish they would have done it here, but they didn't. Anyway, still a great tournament and amazing results. Amazing results for all my heroes, and I'm glad. But it like I say, I have this sense of fair play, and this format was just like it was stabbing me in the heart just thinking about it. Hey Rico, great to see you. Great to see you. So that was that, and then the winner of this tournament. I don't know who this is. I don't know if anyone knew who this was, but the only game the only game from the tournament that was streamed was the finals, and I was watching that game, and like everyone else, and this player, the player was making every. It seemed to me like the player was making every top move that the pro was suggesting. I think someone said that was the case on the Discord, but I was watching it. I'm watching the engine eval because they also had engine eval. I'm watching the engine eval, and on every one of his moves, it's like the engine's not going down. I'm like, what? WTF? What WTF is going on? It's like, is this guy? My mind's like, is this guy legit? What's going on? He's playing a perfect game against this. He played it seemed based on that engine stuff. It looked like he played a perfect game against someone who is ridiculously good. So I'm like, is this guy a pro? Like, what the heck is even going on? But anyway. They won the tournament. They beat all my heroes, and so it's going to be up to me for 3 years to avenge them. In 3 years, Shogi Dad is going to make it to the next ISF, and I will avenge them against this play. Oh, actually, if you win an ISF, you can't go back. Is that a thing? There are some participation limits on ISF. I don't remember. I wasn't scrolling here. This just to show the bottom of the bracket. And then after that, so the champion was given that opportunity to play. Fuji, 7 crown. I guess 7 crown. I don't even know what you'd say. What you'd say. But I know that no one will agree with me. I know that I'm just tilting at windmills. I know that people will make fun of me. I think people that know me, I think will be able to guess at what I'm about to say. I was not happy to see that handicap game. I was not happy to see that at all. In fact, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it. I'm play the game. Play shogi. Don't play a handicap. Don't play. As far as I'm concerned, Fuji was afraid. That's my hot take. That's my hot take from ISF. Fuji was afraid of this champion because so he played a bishop handicap. That's how you save face. So that's how you save face when you don't want to lose against someone who you perceive to be less than you. You give them a handicap. That's the hot take. I would have been so disappointed, honestly. But then again, if I would be good enough to have won this tournament, maybe my perspective would have changed. But if I just won this incredible tournament, and I had the opportunity to play the greatest player who's ever lived, and then they treated me like a child and gave me a handicap. These are my hot takes. I don't know who won because I didn't watch it. I won't watch handicap games. Fuji won. Okay. I'm not surprised because a bishop handicap is not a big. So this is something that correct me if I'm wrong. Any handicap players in the audience, correct me if I'm wrong. I do not think bishop handicap, as someone who has now played some bishop handicap where I'm given the handicap, I do not think this is much of a handicap at all. And in fact, for me, I think it's a handicap for me because it takes out a lot of the things that I can do, like exchange a bishop, like make a bishop drop. Bishop handicap is not shogi. As far as my hot takes, I'm just going to keep making these hot takes. As far as I'm concerned, bishop handicap shogi is not shogi. It's a different game. I was so disappointed to see Fuji take that bishop off the board. They spent like 10 minutes setting up the pieces, and it was so cool to see. I was thinking like if I was in the champ, in Shu's. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name. If I was in Shu's situation, in Shu's seat against with Fuji setting up the piece, alternating pieces as you do, king and then gold and then silver. Like that, that's like a 10-minute process setting up the board. That would have been a surreal moment, and I'm thinking like I would have been like dropping pieces and like doing all sorts of ridiculous stuff. I would have been. I think I've said before that I don't really get nervous. I think I would have been nervous. I think I would have been nervous there. Well, you say a major piece is a major piece. But it's not like you get that piece in hand. You lose the ability to trade off your bishop. The way and again, I'm sure this is because I'm a weaker player, but like when I'm playing these bishop handicap games, I often will feel like my bishop becomes a liability because I'm just trying to protect it. Like, I'm trying not to give it to the opponent because I can't give it in a way that I make an even trade. And I will never be able to take advantage of a bishop drop like hole. So my opponent can create holes in his defense that I cannot make. Like I have to play sort of perfectly to protect against the eventual bishop drop because he's going to trade a silver or he's going to trade two pieces or something for that bishop. And, it's again, I'm not good enough at the game to really talk about these things. But when I play bishop handicap, it often feels to me like it's a disadvantage for me. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't think it's shogi. It's different. You say it wasn't his decision, most likely. I wonder. Yeah, I'm so curious. I'm so curious about that. Like, did he just, if he learned at the moment that Fuji took the piece off the board, that would be kind of amazing, because my heart would have sunk. If I would have seen that, my heart would have sunk. I'd be so disappointed. And I would just be I would just be in all right, let's get this game done mode. I wouldn't really even wanna play it. I'd be so disappointed. But otherwise, really cool event. I wonder what they're doing now. I mean, they're doing the simul, I guess. They're doing the simul with the pros. Yeah. Well, I think you'd say it's that you can't imagine it being bad. Oh, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. Like for I mean, obviously everyone else knows better than I do. But I guess my point is it's not as good as one might think. And I talked about this. I actually talked about this in person with Larry Kaufman. Grandmaster Larry Kaufman, who was the first great Western player, I think, and has played a gazillion. He loves handicap. He loves handicap games. He's beaten, a gazillion pros with handicaps, and he loves and studies handicap games. And I threw this, kind of like an idiot, I sort of cautiously threw this theory of mine out to him, where I said that, I don't think it's that big of an advantage. I said, went further, just like I said now, where it feels like it's sort of a disadvantage for me because I can never get a bishop drop. And he said, it is not a very big advantage. That's what he my understanding of what he said is that it is not a very big advantage. It's an advantage, yes, because like Ornault, like you say, you have an extra major piece. It's not bad. Yes, you have to sort of babysit it a bit, but it's not bad. But Larry was saying that it's not the advantage someone might think it is. Rico, you think it's a huge advantage. If you're good enough for it to be a catastrophic, they'd need a bigger handicap. Well, oh, they said during the streamed game that it isn't big, but you can't imagine it not being big. Well, so that's the thing. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that you haven't played it. Like you're at a level I only dream of getting to, and you've not played handicaps. Like that's a time honored. It's a time honored tradition, of playing shogi, and Go is to play handicap games. It's a tradition I despise. I think I used to try to hide my dislike of handicap games, but I can't anymore. I was so disappointed. I can't even begin to I wasn't quite as disappointed as I saw this random the random single elimination bracket for Group A. That made me really disappointed. But when I saw Fuji take that piece off the board, I'm like, oh gosh, and I just turned off the stream. I didn't watch it. I'm just not interested in it. Well, there is handicap online, Ornolf. I mean, you could do it, I guess, or against bots. Like I'll occasionally play it against bots to do this stuff, to do this idea that Rico is saying now. The funny problem is players struggle to take advantage of the advantage. It's true. It's definitely true. And you do learn these things, and you learn how, like, golds move up by seeing how the better player does it. So I don't think it's all that. It's not that I don't think there some value can be taken from it. It's just I don't think it's shogi. I don't. To me it is a different game, and it's not a game that I signed up to play. I like bishop, I like exchanging bishops. I like dropping bishops. I really like forking with a bishop drop, As much as I hate people forking me with bishop drops, I love forking my opponent with bishop drops. And in a bishop handicap game, I'm never getting a bishop. It's just never going to happen. And I think that takes a lot of the game out of it. I think it takes a lot of the fun out of it. Yeah. Well, or no, I think we are in the very small minority, or the very small minority of people who will admit this, because it's the historically time-honored tradition of improving at shogi is being coached with teaching games. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Rico. I do agree that for different phases it's useful. I just think I can get that. I think I can get that by playing the game. I think that's my thing with it. Is that I also, for me, and again, this is only for me. For me to take a game seriously or to sort of improve by it, I think I have to care about the result. I have my quirks. My quirks is that I have to care about the game. Like sometimes if I'm playing like Pio Shogi and I'm just not caring, I just get wrecked. Even though sometimes, like if I actually can focus and care, I'll beat that bot. But otherwise I just get wrecked. I just I have to care. And if the other opponent, in my mind, if I, the reasons I can't care also are if the opponent clearly doesn't care much about the match, or if they're taking it easy or things like that, then these are mental things I need to get over. That's a practice, but I just don't care as much. And so I play badly. And, a lot of my handicap games are really just exercises in praying that the game ends. I just want to get out of there. Kanto Dragon, you also don't like it. So this is amazing to me. This is amazing. Anytime I hear people sort of not liking handicap, I'm sort of amazed. Just because, it used to be completely forbidden to say these things in the Go world. And so I would never say them. But then I found out on Starpoint podcast, the host was sort of had said similar things to me. I think the host of Starpoint podcast was talking was talking bad about handicap games until he got third place in a tournament because he got a bunch of handicap stones. They play ranked tournament games with handicaps. So he won a game with a 5-stone handicap. And then he won another game with a 4-stone handicap. And now all of a sudden he seems to love handicap games. It's by virtue of beating someone, getting a board full of stones, he came in third place in this Los Angeles tournament. Rico, okay, that's good. It is a major reason why I don't play. I don't want to go to Go clubs, and I didn't want to play Go in person. That is a major reason because I don't want to play handicap games. I just and in my mind, handicap Go games are better than handicap shogi because at least you could sort of still say that it's the same game. But like I said, and again, this is all totally subjective on my part, totally subjective, and I'm totally open to being wrong. But to me, a bishop handicap game, a shogi game, is not I might as well play mini shogi. To me, it's not it's to my warped brain, it's not shogi. So it's if Fuji would have come up to the table with the champion to play a game, and he just would have busted out not Doki Doki. He would have busted out a Goro Goro board. I would have been I might have stopped. I might have at least watched that instead of the bishop handicap game, which I have no interest in watching. It's weird. It's so weird. And I also have this hang up that I look down on people who give handicaps because I you know my hot take, like I said, you know, it's that people who give handicaps are afraid of losing to people who are below them. You know, because believe me, I know how much it hurts to lose to someone who is perceived to be lower in rank. It hurts. Those are the most hurtful games of shogi that I play, are the ones that I lose to someone who I perceive to be, I and maybe the other person perceive to be lower level. You know, it hurts to lose those games. It really hurts. But if you give someone a handicap, there's no hurt anymore because the game doesn't matter. The game has no consequence. um, I'm just. I should change the subject line. Shogi Dad rambles on and rails against handicap tournaments again, against handicap games again. It's oh man, it's something. So this tournament, so you know, the tournament, I really looked forward to watching this one, and I am so grateful that Koshiro made videos. You know, Koshiro made videos, and Muse posted from the day one games. Koshiro post. I'm going to guess that Koshiro won't be able to post videos of the game 2 games. He probably wasn't allowed to put his camera on the board, maybe because they probably had, you know, they had a more specific setup for the semifinals. You know, which was on day 2. So I'm going to guess he doesn't have video of that. But I was so grateful to be able to watch those games and sort of get, you know, feel like I'm there, kind of, and just enjoy them. And like I said, the variety that he played was awesome. That both he played and his opponents played. You say you'd rather beat someone in a handicap game than have them go easy on you in a full game. Yeah, I don't want either. You know, if I was going to play Fuji, I want to get crushed by Fuji, or you know, I want to know. So you know, this, I think in the end, my strongest argument against handicap games is that the result of the game becomes meaningless. So if I were to beat Fuji with a handicap, it would mean nothing to me because it's not a straight game. So like I've said before, you know, the biggest wins of my life, you know, have come against, like, you know, 3 and 2 dan level players. If this was the Go World, or you know, or you know, potentially Shogi World, and those games were played with handicap, I would never have, like, these are moments in my mind that I'll never, you know, the first time I ever beat a 3 dan player, you know, like, this is a thing that'll be in my mind forever. Like, you know, that's the sort of exhilaration that I felt winning that game. It more than makes up for the 10 or 15 times that I've lost to this guy. It's, you know, that one win will be with me forever. But like, if I had played with a handicap, I'd have forgotten it. I'd have forgotten the game. And so that said, so I do have a little bit of an inconsistency in my argument. Is that I think if you are going to do this, you do it with time odds. So like, if I'm playing Fuji and I get 60-second Byoyomi and he gets 10-second Byoyomi, and like, obviously he's still gonna beat me. But let's say I won that game. I could at least feel like this was a game of shogi. You know, this was an actual, honest to goodness, plug it in the engine, see how well we did game of shogi. And that's what they did at the US Shogi Championship. You know, Nishiyama, obviously Nishiyama is not Fuji, but you know, Nishiyama played the champion. She had 10 seconds. He had I think she had 10-second Byoyomi and he had 30-second Byoyomi, and she crushed him. I agree with you, Arnold. I agree with you. I'm just trying. I'm trying to find a way to give out you sort of to make the game a little better like that. I agree. I agree with you. The thing was the U.S. champ was also playing fast. So in my mind, I'm watching that game and I'm thinking of Hikaru no Go, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's trying to show her that he doesn't need a handicap because he was playing his moves fast. And I was thinking like, this is a battle of wills. This is what Shogi's about. This is what this is about. 10-second blitz, just going all out. She's too good. she's pretty good. Pretty good at Shogi. I saw that she lost. She lost in that pro exam game. I agree with you, Kanto Dragon. I agree with you completely. Yeah. Who is this player? How did this guy get so good? Does anyone know anything about him? How did he get so good? Because I don't think, because Umbreon, I think, I think the Singapore rep here, I think that's Umbreon, just by the fact that he did beat Koshiro in that game, and he's the Singapore rep. That, as far as I know, Umbreon is the highest rated Western player on 81 Dojo. I thought. I wonder how big the Shogi community is in China, because their reps were darn good. There's a pretty strong Shogi scene in Shanghai. That's a tongue twister. There's a pretty strong Shogi scene in Shanghai. That's a great one. There's a pretty strong Shogi scene in Shanghai. There's a pretty strong Shogi scene in Shanghai. The play of the sh and the s. There must be. Man. I'm amazed. I am amazed. I really thought we were going to get someone from Shogi Harbor. Kazuhara Shoshi. I'm not familiar with that name, but travels there to teach. Wow. Man, he had a good shirt too. The champ. I don't know if it was just in the after the finals, he had a nice black shirt with a Hisha, with the two character pieces vertical for Rook. So even though he beat my heroes, he beat all three of my heroes in order. Well, I mean, there is no order. So, but in a row, he beat all three of my heroes in a row to win the tournament. And then I see that he has a shirt that I like. I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. That's I'm very easy to forgive, I guess. I'm very easy to forgive. That doesn't mean I'm not going to beat him next year. Oh, but speaking of that, we've got a Watanabe connection. Oh, he's Watanabe's teacher. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Oh. Maybe at next ISF, Watanabe will be the one giving the tournament. That'll give me even more motivation to win. I'm not even gonna maybe I should just move to a country that right now does not have an ISF rep and just lobby hard in the next 3 years to get one. And then some kid off the street comes up and beats me. But I'll avenge them somehow. Oh, anyway, so I was thinking about style at this tournament, because there are photos coming out, and Coach O's got his videos, where you could see what people are wearing just slightly, from the side of the board, and I'm thinking that next tournament I might do the suit thing. I'm thinking maybe that's the way to go for these shogi events. I don't know, but I'm throwing that idea out there. Koshiro was dressed pretty nicely. I think that quarterfinal opponent, Thomas Foffel, I think he was wearing a sport coat. The pros obviously, wear sort of dress clothes and a tie. Especially since, the next US Shogi Championship is going to be within an hour of me. So it'll be, in my home area. I'll have more access to clothes. So maybe I should do that. Because at the US Shogi Championship, one day I wore a hoodie, like a Shogi Dad t-shirt and a hoodie on top. One day I wore like a button-down short sleeve shirt with jeans and the hoodie still, but the hoodie I'd take off during the games because it was getting warm. And I liked looking back at the pictures where I was wearing the button-down shirt. So maybe that's the way to go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I liked the variety of style that people were playing with at this event. This was good. This was definitely good. Yeah. So anyway. I wonder, are there any games on 81 Dojo here? I wouldn't mind playing just trying to get back, because it's been now like 3 or 4 days since I played again. We got a couple guests. I'm gonna do it. Whoa! SF Enchimo is now 4 Dan. Oh man, I'm gonna have to congratulate him later. Wow. Man, I go away for like 3 days, and all of a sudden everyone is just like rocketing further and further away from me. All the local people. I see I Dream of Shogi is playing, or was playing. Okay, yeah, the game is still not running. Okay, let me challenge this other person. Boy, Koshiro made Danaka look real good. I mean, as bad as I am, I think I make it look pretty good. It's that I can't convert the games. I can't convert these superior positions that I get out of it, but I get great positions. And Koshiro! Oh man! Oh, greetings! Was not expecting this. You was I went through the bracket. I went through the groups. I've been talking about the ISF, and your exploits. We just finished talking about that stuff. Oh man! Oh, congratulations again! So good. So good. Your videos really allowed me to feel like I was there. I appreciate it. Like, because the event itself didn't go out of its way to make, to be engaging to viewers. Your videos, it was so nice. I was sitting on the beach. Not on the beach. we were at the beach, and there was like it's a wood deck that was raised up where there's like umbrellas and things like that. So while kids in the family, because I was away in Florida at a family event, kids were playing on the beach, and I was just kind of relaxing. I haven't gotten much sleep in the past few days. So I was just kind of relaxing, and I'm watching Koshiro videos on the beach, waves crashing in, and he's playing Danica and going against Urashino Ryu and going against a Nakabisha player, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad he uploaded these videos. I felt like I was there. But anyway, as I was saying, you were nicely dressed up. You had a nice, from your video, it looked like you had a nice button-down shirt on. It looks like it has a nice texture. I think I've got a white shirt, I think, that has a texture like that. It's an Italian. I can't remember what it's an Italian. I can't remember the person who the company or whatever that makes the shirt. I have one like that. If it's like that, then I think it's nice. So I might just do that sport coat thing. Wear a sport coat, maybe even a tie. Because like I said, I liked the photos of me from the event where I was playing with a button-down shirt. It wasn't fancy, but it was. I liked it more than with the t-shirt. And I would have expected that I would play better with a t-shirt, with the thinking that it's more comfortable. I played better. I was going to say I played better with I played better with the button-down shirt. All right, those guests did not respond to me. Neither guest responded to me. And it looks like they must not be responding to anyone. Rico, you think you typically play better when you're dressed nicely too, regardless of the game. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at the US Shogi Championship. And if I lose, that's my excuse. So this is perfect because now I have a built-in excuse. Next US Championship, I assume it's around there, Magic Base. Greetings. I assume it's going to be around then. Yeah, I'm all about that dressing up nicely. The only problem with dressing up nicely is that those types of clothes are more difficult to clean. You can't easily just you can't just throw those in the washer and dryer and then put it on the next day. You've got to if you don't get it dry cleaned, you've got to iron it and take care of it and etc. Yeah, Rico, exactly. That's why I was saying since the next US Shogi Championship is going to be in my backyard, I'm going to have more access to clothes. So, if I'm going to do it, this would be the perfect time for me to try to do it. If I'm going to wear, a suit and tie and whatnot. I would love to wear the full on, Toyo Koyo sense, Toyo Koyo Meijin kimono, but like I wouldn't want this to be interpreted badly, so I'll just stick with the suit. All right, so I'm gonna while I'm still in here, I want to look at this list of the 81 Dojo stuff. So it shows the ranking of okay. So as I said, Umbreon is the number one rated Western player on 81 Dojo. And I think the Singapore rep, Koshiro, do you know? I think the Singapore rep was Umbreon. I think. But you just, I don't know if this is, if Li Peng Yu 3, I don't know if that's Shu, or if he just plays somewhere else, or I guess, oh, XKY. What is Shu's Nuo. So that wouldn't be it. I mean, oh, it is. It is. Okay. Well, I thought, when I saw your result against him in the grouping game, I thought, oh gosh, that must be Umbreon. And then I saw, I don't know if you weren't here earlier. I was talking about the Group A. I was so not angry. I was so sort of. I was so my sense of fair play was so upset with the Group A bracket. I was so upset just because I saw Umbreon and Muse playing in the first round, and I saw people that had lost in the grouping games getting a bye. And my sense of fair play was just angry, not happy. But I was thinking that, like, if anyone is going to be able if anyone is going to be able to focus his mind and not let it bother him in this first round, it's going to be Michael. And he did it. I'm oh my gosh. The champion is 454 down on Shogi Wars. Wow. Oh, interesting. So I want, is this someone who played the best weekend of their life? Or is he underrated on Shogi Wars? Or, man, all this, I need more information. Did you play many, have you played many casual games with people? Like, have you been able to play Noah or Michael at all? Takashima-san had a great tournament. I really wish it could have been double elimination, though. I still double elimination or a Swiss. Who is Enidak? Who is Enidak? Does anyone know who this is? Apologies that I'm so unshaven here. This week was it was the past few days have been very packed. Lots of family members in a house and lots of things we were doing and lots of eating and okay, at least you were able to play him. At least you were able to play. You came after, but I was saying, all three of my heroes in this tournament, Noah, Koshiro, and Michael, this Shu beat in order. And so next ISF, I am going to don't worry, Koshiro, I got your back. Next ISF, I am going to avenge all of you guys. All three of you, I'm going to avenge. I'll get him next. I'll get him for you. Don't worry. Um, oh, you'll probably know. Does the ISF champ, can the ISF champ play in another ISF, or are they done? They can't qualify? Hmm, man. I wish I was there. I'm so jealous right now. I'm so jealous. Please avenge us. I'll have my suit on. I'll have my suit, and they'll oh boy. Oh boy. But I'll let someone else. I'll let someone else play Fuji, because I like I said, I don't want to play handicap games. So someone else can play Fuji. I just want vengeance. I just want vengeance for my heroes. Hmm. What a tournament. What a tournament. There's a better player. Whoa. Oh. He couldn't come because he did 3 times in a row? Whoa. Telling you, there are strong amateurs out there. The shogi world needs to open up. It needs to open up. Like, imagine if Shogi Wars or 81 Dojo had a titled Tuesday. If for anyone unfamiliar with that, chess.com for the past few years has okay, hello, congratulations again. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your time there. And thanks for stopping by at all. Great to see you. So chess.com runs these titled Tuesday events where it open every Tuesday. There are 2 tournaments, and I think the winner gets like $1,500 or something like that. So it's not like life changing stuff, but like if you keep doing well, like these pros can make some serious money by playing these doing well in titled Tuesdays. And these tournaments are open to any titled player. So national master, international master, FIDE master, candidate master, grandmaster, obviously, women's grandmaster. The women's titles are also qualifying. So you get that. And, people like Hikaru Nakamura, win most of the time. But what if the Shogi world had one of these? They paid out some money. So the good pros get involved. How amazing would that be? I am convinced. I still am convinced that amateurs would rank up, would start competing. I believe it. I don't believe in the hype. I believe that amateurs can do it. And I would love to see it. I think that would be so fun. I'm sort of amazed that the JSA or nobody does it. Like chess.com, this is a huge, huge success. And how many eyeballs does chess.com get every week because of these titled Tuesdays? And obviously I wouldn't qualify, but like somehow I don't know how you would define what a title is in 81 Dojo, but maybe like if it was held on 81 Dojo, maybe if you said this is open to all players 4 Dan and above or 5 Dan and above, and they just play, they play the Swiss, and the winner gets I don't know what that is, 100,000 yen, something like that, every week. It'd be fascinating. I'd be glued to the stream watching it. So, all right. Kanto Dragon, you say that cheating would become a big problem there. It's funny you say that, because so I was thinking about this idea last night as I was kind of trying to get to sleep. I had like 3 hours of sleep because my flight was at 6 a.m. and I was thinking, would cheating become a thing? Like, would this ruin? You know, keep in mind, I'm still convinced it exists in the pro world, or I'm still convinced there has to be some in the shogi world. You know, anywhere there's money, people will get corrupted, or anywhere there's fame, people will find ways, you know, to get in there. So I'm convinced that it does exist. But like, I wonder. Yeah, that is my concern with it. Yeah, yeah, and maybe the JSA, and certainly 81 Dojo, and certainly Shogi Wars. Like, none of these sites have the resources. You know, chess.com has a lot of resources, and you know, big teams of people and players working on their fair play system, and people still complain about that and say it's not good enough, and maybe it's not. So maybe, you know, there'd be no hope for the JSA or 81 Dojo to guard against it. But I think it's unfortunate. I think it would be so fun. I like, I have to believe that players like Michael and Koshiro and Noah, like, and Shu, like, they'd level up. I think they would. To the point, at least, that they wouldn't have to be given a handicap. You know, maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe that's wishful thinking as an amateur. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. But you know, back in the old days, I think people used to think that about chess grandmasters too. Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, and this is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. But it can't stop me from dreaming. It can't stop me from dreaming and hoping for it. I just think it'd be so fun. Yeah. Oh. Especially since, you know, this event is only every 3 years. You know, one thing I noticed is, you know, there is an upcoming tournament. There's an upcoming tournament run by the Brazilian Shogi Association. I think it's by CNS. I don't recall exactly who's running it, but there's that upcoming tournament. I'm blanking on the name of the tournament. Gosh, my mind. I'm blanking on the name, but it's an online tournament, and I'm going to be playing in it. You know, I'm going to be losing in it, and I'm guessing this tournament is going to be the thing that knocks me back to 1Q on 81 Dojo, because they're rated games. But anyway, I'm going to be playing in this tournament, and I noticed that one of the requirements, one of the things that you sign on for, to sign up for the tournament, you know, obviously is not to cheat, but you have to be. I think if you make it out of the grouping stage, you have to have a camera, I think. And obviously, you know, a camera is not going to stop an aggressive cheat. You know, almost nothing can stop. Almost nothing, I think, could probably stop an aggressive cheater, or, you know, someone who's motivated. But anyway, you know, so, you know, that camera was obviously no concern for me, because I'm going to be streaming it. I'll have to ask them if it's okay. I was planning on streaming it and then putting chat in emote only mode, you know, just in case. But not that I'm going to be able to compete with anything, but always just to keep it as above board as possible. Not that there's any risk of of someone confusing me with an engine. But anyway, I'm only saying that because, like, maybe you could do something like that. I think the saving grace of like 81 Dojo being so antiquated is that maybe it makes it more difficult to it would make it more difficult to cheat sort of in a optimized way, where like as you're playing you'd have a the Naroditsky, the famous accusation, the now famous accusation that there's an engine on the wall. Like I think that'd probably be more difficult to do from an antiquated site like 81 Dojo. But anyway, the ceiling stockfish, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to watch out when I'm in the tournament, and I'm gonna have to watch out that I don't move my eyes anywhere. Just complete. Actually, no, because Naroditsky was also playing without moving his eyes, and even that was somehow not good enough. Someone who is going to accuse another person is not going to stop at the facts. They're just not. So in the end, yeah, that whole thing. That whole Kramnik thing has not gone away. I feel because I've been flying back and forth to Florida and doing this family stuff. It feels like I've been away forever. In reality, it's been like 3 days. But the Kramnik stuff is still going, unfortunately. And oops, what did I just do? What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. Very tough to get this in. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, wonder if there'd be other options. Maybe for Shogi Wars. Shogi Wars. Shogi Wars, titled Tuesday. 3-minute, of course. Oh, but if you did, so I was going to say, some way to do it without monetary sort of, without monetary stuff impacting people's decision to cheat. I'll show you wars. You can turn off Kishin for tournament, like they did for that European qualifier. But if there's no money, then there'd be no incentive for pros to do it. So that's my thing, is that my goal would be to see amateurs competing with pros. Amateurs, the top amateurs. Like, I suppose we've had this discussion, but I would think that the top players in this tournament would be chess IMs at least. Chess International Masters. Even if they were, quote, just FIDE Masters, like, I think that'd be good. Anyway, a boy can dream, and so can I. All right, so I'm gonna try one more time to get a game in here. Nine CE. Is this person? Oh, we've got a bunch of practice. 1560. I don't want 1560. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's try the guest first. I'm afraid of the other players. Hakana. I'll try Hakana. Basically unrated. Rejected. Denied. Who is? Let's try Dango-kun. Pure static rook player. Let's try Dango-kun. So I haven't played, in 3 days. I have barely done any tsume in the 3 days either. All right, Dango-kun is also not responding to me. So, best laid plans. Maybe that's, well, there's one more. Ramses. Yagura enthusiast. Let's try. I like this avatar. A lot of games played. All right. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So as I said, Koshiro, I think it was in the first round, played a Urashino Ryu player. Checking the stream. All right, I'm just gonna do it old school. I'm just expressly just showing what I want. I'm not even gonna push this pawn first. Get the gold up. Really liking this avatar. This is a great avatar. 1, it's a cat. 2, it's got glasses. 3, it's got a bow tie. 4, the glasses and bow tie have color on it. It's just, oh, he moved. Is this the Yagura enthusiast? Yes. Yagura enthusiast with 20,000 plus games played. Wow. And games played, that doesn't even count practice games. So who knows how many they play. Let's get our king over. Man, I miss Shogi. I'm just sitting here thinking, boy, I missed this. I want to review this portion after, and maybe I won't do it with people. I want to validate a little more that in a situation like this, because I will give this up a lot. I need to make sure that the engine actually does like that. Doesn't think that's just a bad move. I don't think so. I think it's fine, because I've been doing that for a long time now. And not that engine eval, at my level matters all that much anyway. I wish these pieces lined up. I don't know if any of you noticed, Fuji was lining up his pieces nicely. Not great. Fuji is not, he's no, what was the name of that one player? I can't remember. Not Takashima. Can't remember what it was. Okay, so he's got 3 pawns. He's got the 3 pawns. Do I come up? No, I don't. All right, let's push. And the amateur player was his pieces were not lined up very nicely. I can only imagine if I was up there, maybe my hands would have been shaking. So my pieces would be all over the board, setting them up against, opposite Fuji. Oh, I actually wasn't expecting this. I can't drop the pawn because he's got the. Oh, no. I think the rook would have been better there. Force him to do something about this. Can I threaten this knight? Can I threaten the? I mean, can I threaten this rook in any way here? First. Now let's come back. Let's come back. Goes back. Yeah, I think I missed my chance. I think I missed my chance there. I've got two pawns and a silver, so I can start making an edge attack. But the rook, the king is already over here defending the knight, so that's not going to be all that good. I could. Urshino Ryu channel. I don't know if he would do it. I don't know if he would do this. You're dropping on 8-2, dropping the silver on 8-2, winning, sort of, winning either the lance or the knight, but sort of burying the piece. Where does he want to drop this silver? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I want that lance. I want that lance. I want that lance. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. The rook is no longer defending this file. How does he defend? How does he defend the lance drop? Drop a knight? Or a silver? Like, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing how that gets defended. So like I said, this is like a 2 or 3 days, 3 days away. I feel weird. I feel sort of, whoa. That's too narrow. I mean, I don't think, I think this is over. He's gonna have to run, right? Then I get the gold. Not over. Not over. It is over. It is over. Yeah. Arigatou gozaimashita. Surprising. That's oh, it's 4Q? Oh, I thought this was the 1450. But even so, with 20,000 games, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is. I trust so little of these ratings on 81 Dojo, but interesting. Yeah, yeah, maybe it is legit. It's just 20,000 games. Copy to let's bring this into 81 Doge or at least Shogi now. Change my scene. I was just I was talking up the Koshiro videos and how much I enjoy it, et cetera, et cetera. The downside, everything in life that's good, there is a downside. There has to be something, to balance it. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect at all. The downside of the Koshiro videos is that I watch them and it's like, I think I can do it. I see what he does, and then I think I can do it. And then I try to do it, and I'm just like blundering pieces all over, throwing stuff away. And so like that's I think that's a real risk in my games, is when, especially if I've been away, I if I've been away a day or so and I come back and I've been watching Koshiro videos in the meantime, I'll come back like weaker, because I haven't been playing, sort of rusty because I haven't been playing, but I'll think that I could be good because I've seen Koshiro. That's I don't think that this is universal about good players. I think it's style dependent. So what I'm going to say is that one thing I feel is that Koshiro makes it look easy. If you see his you watch enough of his videos, it's just like his attacks, they're all coordinated. There's coordinated pieces, and when he gives up a piece, there's usually so much like compensation for it. So it feels like, I watch a game like Koshiro, like one of Koshiro's, especially if he's playing an opening that I'm playing. So like those Urashino Ryu games that he played, over the board, or the Danaka games, that he plays. These are openings that I play now. So I'm like, oh, I can do this. I'm watching his video, just kind of nodding silently and thinking, okay, I see this. I see what he's doing. I could do this. And then I get into a game and I'm just like throwing pieces all over the place and just, losing. But I don't know why I even started talking about that. Long story short, I'm glad at least that this seemed to have worked out. So the thing I wanted to look at first, let me get this into my 81 Dojo study. Wait, this was not a rated game, right? Five points. Yeah, okay. That was not. Yeah. I want to watch this SF Enchimo game that just started. All right. I wanted to look at this. I wanted to look here. I'll have to put this into my lines later. But pawn 3-6. Pawn 3-6 seems better. Oh, yeah. Silver 4-8 is something I think I would normally do. I just thought I could be a little faster. Silver 6-6 is the other. Silver pawn 4-6 is there too. Okay. It prefers this and this, but they're all still Sentei-ish advantage. Pawn, yeah. So that was the best move. It's not that bad. Okay, yeah. As in those other cases, it's worse to take that pawn. Do I come over here? Okay, it is. Yeah. That's just. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah, that's a real problem. That okay. So that's a real problem with that. So later when he did later, same thing still holds. I think I lost. Yeah, I think I missed that opportunity. Yeah, rook takes. I saw it too late. I saw it too late. Yeah, rook takes plus 4.1. Bishop takes plus 1.9. Yeah, not the biggest difference, but this is after I made the move. I saw this idea. Okay. All right. That feels good. In the meantime, I'm just going to put this on. Doesn't like that. The engine doesn't know that Urshin Ryu channel does this. Probably in a totally different context. Pawn drop 2-4. Pawn takes, rook takes. Wait, what? What? Wait, I'm just going to play this line through. Is it because of the drop? Wait, what? Oh, okay. I need to calculate. All right. Yeah. All right. So I need to. This is lesson 1 now. Lesson 1 for today. Maybe the only lesson I'll take. But I need to continue to look at opportunities. My mind, once a king is no longer here, this doesn't come with check. My mind sort of loses the thought of doing something like this. So I need to always be open to taking that piece. Oops. All right. Kosher would see that. So that's exactly like I was saying. Kosher makes it look easy. Kosher would have done this. Kosher would have done that, and I'd be like, I'd be watching the game like, yeah. Looks natural. Looks natural. But when it comes to me in game. All right, that was right. That was good. That was good. Oh, it doesn't like that. It wants to just take the. Oh, man, I thought that was. I'm with the lance drops. I'm darned if I do, darned if I don't. I mean, I thought this had to be answered. Yeah, well, so that taking is the blunder, and now it's mate in 3. But what was it? Was a pawn going to do it? No, pawn wouldn't do it. Just running the king. What was? What? I'm not looking to see, but I'm trying to think of how I would defend this here. Because I think during the game I said I think this is it. I have a gold in hand and a pawn. He's got lance. He definitely can't drop the silver, clearly. If he drops the silver here. Silver here seems fine. Gold, fine. I mean, I think it's still good for me, but gold, silver. You gotta have something here to defend. Oh, and those are the top two moves. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I don't need to play every day. My game is a finely my defense. It's a finely polished katana. I don't know what it is. Look at that. I'm just picking top moves. Gold 4-2 is also, I mean, it's still winning for Sente. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of defending, you probably need to drop pawn 2-2 instead of gold takes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, pawn drop 2-2. Pawn drop 2-2, and it's still minus 1 point, minus 2.2. So it's Gote's advantage here. So presumably, I guess I take, and that means he's got the silver and a lance. So I've given up that lance. I've given up that lance basically that I just got. I mean, I still like that though, right? I've got, so materially we're even, but he's got materially we're even. My castle's a little better. His castle is non-existent, but he's got a lot of nice pieces in hand, and a kind of semi-annoying bishop to deal with. I guess that's what the engine sees as a negative 2.1. That makes sense. Yeah, we don't have a piece to break through, and we lost that silver for the lance. Yeah, we got a gold though. So materially we're even. We're completely even including pawns. That would have been that's an interesting one. So what are my ideas here? What are my ideas at this point? So we get to this, we get here. Of course, always the engine top move. Always the engine top move. Gold 5-9. That's always going to be the engine top move. And I refuse to make it. These feel like those types of moves. They're like one move little mini threats that aren't really threats. I guess there must be more behind it. Or maybe it's just that I don't have many moves to make that are doing much, so I've got to do something. Yeah, engine like gold 5-9. I think I actually would have played gold 5-8 here. I think that's what I would have played in this position, or pawn drop, or dangle a pawn, just because I can't resist the dangling pawn. So what the moves? Gold 5-9, bishop 5-7, pawn 9-6, pawn 1-6. Also a move I would consider, probably do. Silver 5-7. Not a move I would have considered, because this seems awfully, because you get the pawn drop on here. Wait, why would that be good? Oh, so I move up. Oh, because the king is wide open. Maybe. Okay. Oh. All right. Sounds good. I am beat. I am beat. It's been a couple hours. I'm glad we were able to talk about ISF. I'm going to stop for here, and and then, come back tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning, maybe some coffee and shogi, and maybe there will be something going on Lee Shogi. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'm on so little sleep over the past few days. I think I'm gonna doze a bit. Hey, Spinal Tap Chess, great to see you. So I think that's what I'm gonna get over to the couch, lay down, and just try to recover some of the sleep that I lost over the past few days. But thanks everyone for coming by. This has been fun. In case it isn't obvious, I love talking about that tournament stuff. I love talking about ISF. I wish there was more material that they released during the event that we could get excited about and talk about. But as it is, I think more information is going to be coming to the Discord, I'm sure. There will be more things to talk about. Koshiro and Gust 1 and Gang, they're all still in Japan. So, we'll be getting more information from them. I know that there was some sort of mild drama on day one. I think on the last round, after the last round. So I don't actually know what that drama is. I'm going to find out, because as we discuss, Chess World gets all the drama and we don't get anything. So we need that. We need it. I'm going to guess it's going to be like drama, like there was an argument about who was being nicer to the other person, like who was being a nicer player. But that said, I'll take any drama. So, thanks again, everybody. Good to be back. Glad to see you all. Sorry for the scruffy face and everything. And I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your shogi. Man, it's gosh, I miss it so much. It's just one game, and I'm having so much fun. But thanks again, and see you soon. Have a great remainder of the weekend. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.